And it was 8 years. You made shorts and things, but it was 8 years between feature films for you. Medicine for Melancholy was in 2008. And why did it take so long for this one? Or why did you spark to this one?
Why did you wait 8 years to make a movie?
Why did you wait 8 years? Because you obviously have this amazing talent. So.
You know, I don't know why it took 8 years, but it's funny because I don't get to see Ava as often as I would like. But I remembered when I made Medicine, it was a very low budget film. I made it for 13 grand. And people saw it, and they went out and they made these films. And Ava made her first film called I Will Follow. And then she had this dinner at Sundance, and she was like, I'm gonna build this thing. I'm gonna start making movies. And all these black cinemarati were at the table, and Bradford Young, who shot Arrival, he was at that table. Ava, who directed 13th, was at that table. And me, this little dude who had done his $13,000 film, was at that table. Wow. And now look at us. Wow. Amazing.
Wow. That's just the connections we have here tonight between that table, which is extraordinary. I have to ask you, though, about what you did that I don't believe was from the original, which was the structure of it, with separating it into 3 distinct chapters, hiring 3 different actors to play Sharon and Kevin at 10 years apart, basically, in this. That came from you, and I thought that was an interesting idea.
Yeah, you know, Terrell had done some. Terrell's work is very adventurous formally. I thought on the stage some of those things would carry, because it's such a continuous piece of time. But I think in editorial terms, as far as cinema language, in order to follow the journey of this young man, it would be better to tell the stories in turn. You know, I didn't want to reach into my past or reach into Terrell's past and have you guys experience this and not really feel it, not really walk a mile in the character's shoes. So I thought splitting it to 3 chapters, you could really feel the journey the character undertook. And if you saw him literally embodied by a different person, we would realize, all of us in this auditorium, how society is implicated in these young men feeling forced to evolve, you know, to change themselves, to suit a version of themselves that the world will accept. And it was a beautiful process of sort of taking Terrell's language and translating it into that form, but this really beautiful thing happened where a lot of this is much more autobiographical for Terrell than it is for me, and he had never reconciled with this character Kevin in his life. Kevin, air quotes. So as I was writing, I came to the end point of the source material, which is the phone call in the 3rd chapter. And I thought, well, I think these characters need to sit across from one another and meet. And so the last 30 minutes was me, at that point, really loving Terrell's voice, really loving the characters, and trying to see, as an audience member, what would happen if. And the last 30 minutes are an extrapolation of what would happen if.